Good turnaround Tuesday, Warriors. Hi, Salome, Mike, Ryan, all my trading warrior brothers and sisters. AJ's here, Patrick, James. Hi, Lowell, Marcus. Hi, Blake, Glenn, David Jensen. You probably have some important news to put in text. George? Okay. So yesterday I was talking about a potential head and shoulders top and little mini one in euro. We've got a breakdown here. Targets down around this 200-day, down 108-ish about. That to me is a buy zone. So I didn't trade this. I'm trying to be disciplined, not trade counter trend, because my belief is that the trend is shifting to bearish in the dollar. The dollar, the battleground, I think is going to be up here around 105. So it's, basically the same formation as euro, only inverse, and cable going along for the ride, but putting in a nice little pin here. So I haven't looked at EG in a while. We making new lows? Nope. Looks like we'll, another failing rally in that. Gold, people are saying, because I think there's a chance we take out 2380, that I'm going to miss the gold again. People are warning, Coach, you're going to miss the PMs again. So, you know what? I could. I miss a lot of things. Anyway, thanks for the warning. And then we had yesterday pretty good relief rally. I think S&Ps have trouble between up towards 56. I know Saloom's looking for new highs right away. I think that this is B with a C to come, and the Nasdaq's a little bit weaker. It's not taking out yesterday's high yet. It's pretty feeble rally. I know looked big, 280, 300 points in Nasdaq. Like all is clear. I don't know if all is clear, because I looked at the Mag 7 after, the close. And hi, Ingmar. And Amazon did not do much. Hi, Paul. It could rally for an ABC, but it really didn't do much. Maybe it rallies up to here. Apple, which has been a leader, it didn't close higher with a huge up day in Nasdaq. There's Meta. Definitely due for a bounce. Maybe it's not over yet. Maybe it gets closer to 500. Goog, barely hanging on to the 200-day. Netflix got killed last week, and I don't know, these two, there was earnings stuff going on, kind of might have to disregard it. Makes it a real difficult chart. And here's Microsoft. But the key for the whole market is right here. Was that it at 115? This was A, B, C. Yeah, it could have been. But I will say one thing, that the whole complexion of the market changes. You got veins? Okay. The 200-day in what? This is a 4-hour. Okay. Back under 116, and this shifts from being an ABC to a 5-wave structure down. So this is really the key. If you want to keep an eye on the market, you got to hope that NVIDIA, who's the poster boy for the parabolic move we had this year, does not take out that 116 level. Okay. So let me go to the crew, the best crew on the net, no doubt about it. And let's start with Euro. Ryan, good morning. How are you, my trading warrior brother? Looks like we're going to head towards your 108.30 range that you look left, and you see a lot of reasons for that number.
Yeah, morning, Coach. I'm all
Hey,
good.
Brian.
Hope you are too. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of a breakdown under this 70 level. It's been a bit of support over the last few days, so we're tipping a few stops. I'm not sure why we're going under. There's a little bit of dollar buying going on, but it's flat elsewhere. Um, yeah, just if it ain't going up, it's going to go down.
Yeah.
We're in now in this zone down to 108.30. We'll see what happens down there. That's the next area. We'll probably find something in the middle, no doubt. 50s, 108.50s. Um,
Okay.
we are seeing a few. We're getting a few more of the broader stocks results coming out now. We had all the financials
Yeah.
and whatnot last week. Now we're getting the broad swathe of the economic sectors, UPS, poor results, but others have had half decent results. So yeah,
Transports. Yeah.
we're going to start seeing more rotations. I think in and out, in and out as the market runs
Okay.
around between the different sectors. But it's been pretty quiet other than that in the euro.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that a lot. In fact, that has really tamed a lot of bearishness. This rotation into uh, Russell and industrial cyclicals, and the great
Yeah,
rotation. And the day in IWM, I was reading Jim Walsh's letter. It's historic what happened. I think it only happened maybe two other times in market history, and not the Russell, I don't know, but this move right here. What they call it, like Sigma 4 or something like that, which is like
yeah,
the Richter scale for the market. Instead of Richter, they use Sigma.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so, um, but I don't know if this could hold up the whole market. I mean, what took the market up was Mag 7. The complaint was, oh, it's too concentrated. Well, even though it was concentrated, we had this huge move. And if the correction is concentrated in Mag 7, I think it's got to have impact on the averages. And, those other stocks probably hold up better. Maybe they do rally, but, um, uh, you know, what led markets up normally leads them down. So that's where
yeah,
my head's at. But I think that really takes that took a lot of people by surprise that it did what it was supposed to do all year in one day to get going, and that's going to have a lot of people throwing in the correction
yeah.
towel because of that, and maybe it's just a
Well,
hook.
you've been all over the miners. Freeport just this minute have reported, revenue beats, earnings
Yeah,
beats, and you take that and you think, well, that's good. And you get, as I say, you get a UPS that drops a negative one. And, it's just the market seeing where's the value now? Is it in
yeah.
consumer related stocks? Is it in mining stocks? Is it in airline stocks? And that's, we're just seeing a bit of that, washing in and out of markets at the moment.
Well, I have to say this, that there've been, those down days when there was China was being transparent that they didn't buy this month, and then they did it 2 months in a row, and you'd have gold down $35 or so.
Yeah.
GDX, this is a breakout until proven otherwise. Okay, so we broke out this huge formation. It's a huge triangle going all the way back to COVID. Okay, so
Yeah.
this measure is big unless it takes out the 36 and makes it a false breakout. You're talking about 28 from here, 64, 74, and they've held up much better. I mean, look at that chart compared to gold.
Yeah. I was going to say, gold's looking like it might be coming off the highs. What,
Yeah,
what do the miners do with that?
yeah. You know what I'm curious of, and K-Man's not here today, right?
No, he's not here. No.
No, but I
What
am.
look?
Hello.
Oh, Stel, let me just ask Brian one more question. Where are your levels in Aussie? The commodity currencies have turned from the weakness to the strength. I have some fibs coming in here around 65 and change.
Yeah.
Uh, this was a pretty good rally. I don't think it's going to, abort it all here. And I think I'm leaning towards, buying a break, and we're having a pretty nice break already, almost 200 pips. Where would you take a stab at Aussie?
I was actually speaking on the flow show earlier because I'm half interested in maybe we got a level here at 66, 20, 25, and it's holding
Okay,
it for now. It's just under the 38.2 fib of the move from
I
April.
see it. Yes.
Yeah, you've got the same thing now.
Yeah.
So, but it's come through a couple of big levels. 66, 45, 50 has been a big level. You can see going back there.
Yeah.
It was a resistance point before we had this move up to 67, 68s. So we're through
Okay.
that. So yeah, I think a lot of this is on the back of the commodities. You mentioned copper, gold.
Yeah.
Um,
Blake was all over this
yeah,
decline.
we're in one of those moments where you've got to watch several assets just to trade one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it has been a bit of a light switch moment. The dollar hasn't strengthened significantly anywhere. But that was a solid high up at 68, bang on a level as well. So yeah, 66.20s is a level worth looking at. There's a bigger level round at the big figure and 65.80, which is the 50 fib of this move. So that's a bit of a bigger level. But you need to, if you're going long at the moment, you need to be taking out those resistance areas on the way up, or you need to take profits pretty quickly in case this isn't the end.
Yeah. When I look at this chart, and people say, well, Dale, how do you know where the stops are? So all you have to do is say, you don't have to have the position, but say I'm long, where would I put my stop? Where would you put your stop? Here's
Yeah.
where everyone's putting their stop, under the last swing low.
Yep.
So it'd be nice to see him clean out those longs first, which really doesn't disturb this uptrend. It's still a retracement move, but this would shake out a lot of the bullishness in Aussie, which I'm sure there was plenty near the highs, and with it heading up and also leading Kiwi. So I'm sure there's still longs hoping we don't take this low out. So that's where the stops are. Um, Probably one pip underneath it. So,
But
all
yeah,
right.
you have to know
Huh?
why it's being driven there. You have to know why it's being driven there. If it's driven there
Yeah.
because copper's come off another buck and a half, you're going to be
Yeah.
less inclined to try the dip, aren't you? Buying the dip.
Yeah. No, I'm going to try it in here. I don't care what copper's doing. I'm going to try it. Some of my biggest misses are because I was paying attention to a correlation, and it kept me out of a trade or put me into a trade. And I love correlations. They give me narratives and biases, but uh, they screw you up on your trading.
Well,
So
I remember
yeah,
you picked that level last year in the Aussie dollar and got it, down in the was it the 63s?
yeah,
You
yeah,
nailed that to a T. If
yeah.
you'd have
So
waited for your little break, you would have missed out on it.
yeah, so same thing in Canada. Uh, we're pressing the highs. I think we got some stops. We got these stops. When's the BOC?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for your analysis, Brian. I'm going to bring
Thank you,
in
mate.
Stel. Stel
Hello.
doesn't show up unless he has something to say. Let me take a guess
No.
about what you're going to talk about. Could it be something that shines?
Well, I'm not going to talk about silver. Okay, let's leave that. No, I
Uh,
will. I will talk about a bit about everything. Let me take the screen for a bit. First,
okay.
I'm going to talk about, well, you mentioned it. You mentioned GDX,
Yeah.
quite rightly pointing out the breakout.
Yeah.
And it's been outperforming gold in the last few days. But if you look at, if you go a little bit further back, GDX has been really, really underperforming gold for the last almost 20 years. So I think that miners have been hit by the fact that they have high debt, so high yields will not be good for the cash flow. But I think that with yields dropping pretty much everywhere soon, I think that miners are going to continue to outperform, and that's why I think this breakout, maybe we get a nice little technical kind of false breakout, longs capitulate, and then we explode higher.
I would love
this,
to see that if if gold took out that what is it 2380 level, where everyone's long from 2380.
yep,
I can make a case for GDX pulling back to the 31 level if that happens, and I'll be backing up the truck if that happens.
yep. You have the
Right,
200
right
DMA
in
around
there.
there. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
and it's about 61.8 back. So
yeah.
that too would, because I mean, there's no reason for people to be. Can you find a gold bear out there anywhere?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are a few, but yeah, you are right.
Who? Who? Henrik?
Henrik.
Okay, but I mean that's a constant story. But I think
Yeah.
Katie turned negative for a little while. I don't know if she is
Oh, really?
anymore.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
anyway,
I,
that's
I I
where
think Jim Welsh is a little bit negative in the short term as well,
he
and
is.
rightly so. I
Yeah,
don't disagree.
yeah, Jim's
But
good.
I think the big driver is still yields. And I was reading yesterday, we have the highest concentration of shorts in treasuries since
Ever.
February or something, speculative shorts. You know what
Yeah,
that happens, what follows, and
yeah,
we've had this rising trend line. We broke below. We're
yeah.
retesting. I mean, if you zoom
Like
in,
it.
it's almost to the pip. I think this will resolve to the downside, and you read the horror stories about the interest payments of the US and other countries and what percentage of the tax revenues it is. And it's just absolutely monstrous. And governments just simply cannot have high rates for a lot longer. What are they going to do? Good question. I personally think that they're going to have to find some excuse to start QE, buying bonds again. But for now, I think yields are going to rise a little bit more, retest that, and I think we're going to be resolving lower. Now, if that happens, then theoretically, it's a similar story, similar chart in the dollar, more or
Yeah,
less. You can draw it however you like. Could we rise towards 105? Of course we could.
yeah.
But I think this will resolve the downside in tandem with yields. And
Okay.
now I'm not saying that I think the euro dollar is going to be flying, because I think the euro is equally screwed. But we have very clear levels in the euro dollar. So we're between 106 and 109.5. We tested this, rejected it.
Yeah,
If we break out above these highs, then it's a different story. But for now, I think these are clear and very wide range, I know. But
good.
this is what we have. And for
I know you.
equities, yeah, go
Oh,
on.
go ahead. No,
No,
go
what were you
ahead.
going to say?
Before you go, I have a question. Go ahead.
For the dollar or where?
No,
Okay.
no, go ahead with what you were showing. Risk. Go ahead.
Yeah. So now we have the S&P is this really nice channel. Doesn't look bearish to me in any way. And I think the developments with Biden and Trump, and let's face it, I think Trump, well, the bookies have Trump winning easily. What do I think happens to market if Trump wins? I think it's both actually both scenarios are friendly for equities. I think we're gonna be grinding higher. I'm not saying I don't think Nvidia necessarily is going to be going a lot higher than here. It's supremely stretched, but indices in general, I still think the path of least resistance is higher, and I've been saying this from before 2024, and the trajectory is up, up, up. Yes, you do have a few bumps here and there, but this is technically very, very strong. So I would caution against being short risk. Of course, if you're trading off, 5-minute charts, you can do whatever you want. But I don't like being short yet. There will come a time when I will be bearish, but I'm not yet.
Okay.
Um,
What
and
about that red bar showing huge volume on the
oh, this
volume
one here.
chart?
This was
Volume, if you believe volume precedes price, there's a message there.
yeah, that's a good point. This is the day I think that
Yeah.
Nvidia had a really bad down day. Oh, I don't, I you know,
Yeah, it's a
it,
poster
it
child.
Yes, you're right. Clearly, a lot of stuff happening that day, a lot of liquidations probably, but for me, overall, it doesn't look bearish at all. So
Okay.
I still think we're there. What was your question, Dale?
I know you follow WTI. It's really been whipping around, giving
Yeah.
conflicting signals.
Yeah, I haven't traded oil in months and months. I will take a look at this if we break above this
Okay.
trend line. This is very clear. This trend line is very clear, and I think a lot of people are looking at it. So if we do break above, I think there's going to be a thrust towards these highs. But the problem I have with being long oil is that I think it's unavoidable. There's going to be there is already a slowdown globally. I think we will be seeing some kind of recession. How deep will it be? I don't know. And as long as my macro view is that a recession is coming, I find it difficult to be long. I will only go long this on a technical basis and for a much shorter time period, simply because I really like this. This trend line is very clear, and I like to follow clear things.
Good answer, Richard. I think that was a
The
game show.
the
All
euro
right.
pound I like. I've said it for a while. Anywhere below 85, I think being short is the right trade. And if it does go towards 85, I'm going to try. I'm going to try another short. I don't have that much conviction in FX apart from the euro pound and the dollar mix. Dollar mix again, I like being short below 1850 to 19. This area.
You called it a week or so ago on. You caught part of that decline. You like the carry.
Yes, carry is brilliant. It's 7% or whatever it is. I can't remember. So I like that too.
Okay.
Apart from that, I don't have that much to add. And I don't want to bore you anymore. So I will pass it on to whoever wants to.
Gregor's here, unless you want to take it, Blake.
No, let's give Greg a few minutes and then I'll wrap us up.
Okay. Hi, Gregor. Welcome.
You're muted.
Yeah. Hey. Sorry. Hey, Dale.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks.
Good. So
Vacations
Bitcoin heat map
are in 2 weeks. So, excuse me.
What's in 2 weeks?
Vacation time.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm on Skype. You certainly haven't waited till August to take vacations, Gregor. You're on vacations you're going somewhere every few weeks, it looks like to me.
You've got his number, mate. You've got his number.
Right.
Yeah.
He's saying like he waited through he's been working his butt off all this time. I see pictures of lakes. I see mountains.
No, those legs were from Blake. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Blame it on Blake. All right. Go ahead.
Okay,
All
so I think that we are now finally in this corrective period during summer that may last till September. We had a pretty strong reversal last week, and now even if this is just a temporary correction now in Elliott wave terms, as you said yourself as well, this could be a wave B rally. So wave C to the downside is missing to complete this counter trend structure, as you can see here.
Right.
So I think that this consolidation is also matching perfectly. If you look at S&P 500 seasonality chart, you can see that July, which is here in the middle, typically whenever we had a very strong push before that, market then turned down for a correction. So I think it's a perfect timing to step into this corrective period before maybe we get another push to the upside during elections period.
Like it.
Also,
what would confirm that was it and there's not going to be another 5? That this is the 5. We have to take out wave 4 lows for that to be the case?
That this is the significant top?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we should start seeing levels like 5,300 or so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That wave 4 there. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Gregor. Okay.
Now, also, it looks like that emerging markets are also turning to the downside. So this normally means that looks like that dollars are not flying that much to other developing countries. So here, looks like that we are also stepping into a correction, not a bear market, just a correction, meaning it's a pause, but still it's ongoing, right? So we have a few assessments showing us that dollar could rally further. And if you look here on dollar index, we definitely completed this drop, falling below 104 just for a temporary period of time before market recovered. So looks like that was a failure down there, and we are now in a new correction. I think that there can be room for 105. And what I really like so far is that here I have euro dollar. You can see that euro dollar is very weak correlation is there. Obviously, it's not tick by tick with the S&P 500, which is in orange, but euro is already printing new lows. And if we think that stocks will be headed even lower, then I'm afraid that dollar will also continue to rise versus euro. And even on a higher time frame here, keep in mind that we are still stuck in this triangle range. So if this summer range will just resume now through the next few weeks, then I think that there is even a chance that we will at some point revisit the lower side of this trading range. Unless we start breaking 1.10, then obviously this will be invalidated. But for now, we are still tracking this triangle, which in my opinion is incomplete here. Also, as you mentioned yourself as well earlier, NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is also in a corrective setback. We are now at this gap from last week. So maybe some key intraday resistance up there, but I really doubt that this correction is finished. I still think that there is room for 110. Also, I'm comparing the current post-earnings cycles. As you know, after earnings here in February and May, we immediately continue to the upside for a week or 2 weeks. Okay, and this has pulled also other stock markets to the upside. But after some time, there was a slowdown, and we retraced back to these gap levels when earnings were released here in February. And I have been tracking the similar price action now, and I also think that there is room to retrace back to this area, which comes in then around 110. So clearly this sector shows us that, which by the way was very strong, that we are in a correction here. Even if you look at semiconductors,
they got killed. So, Greg, one question, and
sure.
we have an interview in a fight. Jim Welsh says if NVIDIA takes out these recent lows at 115, that it transforms the ABC into a 5-wave decline, and that would change the character of the market.
What would be the price? What price you mentioned?
If we take out, after this bounce, if we take out 115, it's not an ABC, it's a 5-wave structure to the downside.
Well, if we consider what are the levels for wave C, right? Wave C is normally very similar in length compared to wave A, and you can see that 113 is actually the ideal support. So I think if we see a new low, that would be just the perfect support for a new bounce later on, rather than saying that we are in a wave 3. In my opinion, you have to see 161.8% extension of the first leg to make sure that you are in an extended drop that would belong to impulsive decline.
Okay, got it.
So for now, I still think that's the support area that can be retested here. Also, maybe a quick look on gold. Gold, I think that we are in a new corrective phase. So always when gold moved to new all-time highs here this year, we have seen immediately a very sharp reversal. And this sharp reversal later on sent us into this deeper consolidation, which I think is now underway, because clearly we have this impulsive reaction down from that most recent highs. We are also trying to break out of this upward channel. So I think that gold will either stay sideways here for some time, and possibly in a few weeks, 2 months or so, maybe even we can retest this very big support area from where I think would be quite attractive to see a new bounce.
Don't you think we'll take out those stops if we get down there? Everyone who's long gold was long against those lows.
Yeah, I'm certain that there are plenty of stops. I mean, it's a similar idea like here. Look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin liquidation heat map. the yellow lines shows where are the most stop losses from potential shorts. Okay, and you can see plenty of stop losses up here. This is around 70K area. So I think it's also another indication why market seems like it wants to trigger these prices before it may potentially pull back. So yes, I think that on gold we may have some similar idea here if we go towards these levels down there.
And I have to say, Greg, both you and Jim Welsh, because I do meet with him once a week, and both of you saw that new high is wave 5, and that's a good warning. I mean, I think a lot of people were chasing gold higher, and Dale, I agree with you. I think the stops below those lows are going to get taken out. Because the market just likes to punish everybody that's offside.
Yes.
So I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Stel's presentation, that's going to give you a chance to buy those shares.
there you go.
Cheap. Yeah.
There you go. Hey, I know you have an interview coming up, and I want to thank Grega and Stelios for being here today. It's one of those days that I didn't even get to speak much, which is fine by me. Because I'll see the rest of you all, those of you that are ForexAnalytix subscribers, I'll see you on the morning edge in like 45 minutes. We go through all the major instruments together, and then I meet with all of our clients, and we talk about things that they want to see too. But we go through all of these major key markets every single day, and we update this bias chart. So I'll see you guys in 45 minutes. But I do want to tell you guys a couple of things. First of all, the euro yen has broken a major channel that we've been following. It is also the 24% retracement. We are now due for a setback, and while we're below 170, we're going to be trading probably closer to the mid 160s in the days ahead. Euro, as Dale pointed out, is a head and shoulder pattern. Also broke the ascending channel. Looks like we're going to move lower into the middle of the triangle, if not, past the 50 DMA and the 200 DMA. Last thing I wanted to go over really quick, UPS. One of you guys, I think Ryan mentioned that UPS earnings were today. The stock is down 8% right now, but it's not because of economic activity. It's not because of they've actually, I think they're doing more transactions than 2022, if I read the notes correctly, but it's their margins are getting squeezed, and that's going to be a common theme that you're going to hear. And so don't look at UPS. I was talking about it on the week ahead video, thinking, okay, well, we really got to see what their movement has been like, and they're actually doing business. It's just their margins are getting squeezed, which again, in an inflationary environment, that's going to be problematic for a company like UPS. Also, we have earnings from Alphabet after the close, so make sure you guys know this. We're at the 161% extension in Google, so whether we can break out or we turn lower probably has a lot to do with earnings. We also have Tesla, which has a nice pennant developed. You can see it right here, and it looks bullish, but obviously earnings after the close are going to matter. We have Texas Instruments too, which, as the market's focus on chips, so we got that. Anyway, I want to thank Stelios, Ryan, Grega, and obviously you, Dale. I know you have an interview here, so
not here, I don't think.
Oh, well,
John,
really?
Anthony, if you're here, can you text something? I can't find you in the
Oh yeah, you jump in the chat box, and in the meantime, while we're waiting for them, Greg, I know he talked a little bit about earnings. Ryan, as far as the euro goes, this euro break. Are you still here, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Okay. So as far as this euro breakdown goes, was there a catalyst overnight? It's interesting when I get up and I'm like, hey, we got a breakdown. Like, where'd this come from and why? Is there a reason why the euros moved lower? Is there any headlines that did it?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
Very little headlines on the wires today.
Okay, I mean, the thing we talked about yesterday is just the lack of ability for the euro to bounce yesterday. Just suggested that we were going to move lower. I mean, that was pretty. It seemed very obvious yesterday. We talked a lot about that when we were doing analysis as the ForexAnalytix subscribers, we were just like, this thing can't even muster any type of bounce. So I guess, if it doesn't go up, it's probably only got one other direction to go. That's probably the case, right?
Yeah, exactly what I said today.
Yeah, yeah. And
go down.
yeah, and you got the same thing with Aussie. And you have to imagine how many people are long the Aussie dollar on the big breakout over the last several weeks. I mean, I've done played this thing to the short side. I'm already out, but I still think we have further downside. I think that we could see this 200 DMA really easy, because it's one of those situations. The thing does not want to rally. You got copper moving lower and everything else, and it's like looks like it wants to just break. So. Dale, any news on your guests?
I don't see either of them.
Okay.
So
they've been here before?
Huh?
They've been here before, right?
Yeah, I think 3 times.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we sleep in.
They're geeks.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I know Stelios was talking about the dollar mex, but also keep in mind, that there's more at play than just carry here. There's people that are going to be a little worried about, what a Trump presidency looks like to Mexico, especially with a new leader that Scheinbaum, who hasn't, unless I'm wrong here.
Oh, they're polar opposites.
Yeah, and they haven't met yet. I'm going to make that assumption. So there is a very, very big risk that you see a big move lower in the Mexican peso, Japanese yen, and
I'd wait for him to pinch her on the butt.
Ooh, that might happen.
Get short.
That might happen, Dale.
It could I know it. It probably happens.
so yeah, you got to watch this very, very long-term uptrend in the Mexican peso. The institutions have been riding happy as a hog on this trend for a long time, not only capturing the upside of this move, but also all the carry associated with it. This unwinds, it could be a really, really gnarly move in the peso. We could see the Mexican peso above 20 just on a squeeze, without a doubt. Anyway, all right, Grega, thank you so much for being here. Dale, I guess you need to reschedule, and we'll catch everybody back here tomorrow.
Great looks today, Grega, Wizard, and Ryan. Very nice analysis.
Nice haircut.
I could ask you. You know what? It's like that with you and the whole team. I could add, and Stel, nice review. I could ask you guys anything, and you have answers. And if you don't, you have the integrity to say I don't know. So nice show today. And Blake, thank you, and good hunting. And I recommend that people, at the minimum, go ahead and, if you're new, at least try the trial for $1, and you'll never look back. So go ahead. And you know what? And if you want to commit to your own success, just go ahead and join and use these slower months. And they may not be that slow with the politics.
I think volatility is going to be on the increase, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, look at what the VIX did. I mean, it's moving both ways. So, get in the community and rise to the level of some of these traders. And if you think you're as good as Ryan and Cayman and Blake and all the guys in the room, then go in there and help people. So, you would have a mission and a purpose besides your own P&L. So remember, everyone, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Good turnaround Tuesday. That's what Saluma's doing. He's in there helping people. That is called planting good seed, and you reap what you sow, Saluma. All right, so take it easy, everyone. Adios. See everyone tomorrow. Thanks again, team.
Thanks to you, Dale, for shepherding the flock.
Okay, it's a great flock. Flock of Seagulls. Remember the band?
Guy had a my hair looked just like that band.
Okay, I knew you'd remember them. All right. All right. See you, everyone.